Thousands of years ago, the world was a completely different place, and there were some animals that would send chills down your spine. And even though the loss of any species is tragic, the legacy of these terrifying animals lives on. One of these animals is the titanoboa, a genus of very large snake that'd make your average python look like a garden hose. The snake used to roam around at 50 feet long, meaning if it were to get into an upright position, it would be taller than a 4-story building, and it weighed as much as a school bus. Tigers are already scary, but luckily they hunt alone. Unlike the smilodons, who were a ferocious feline that went extinct around 10,000 years ago. They looked similar to modern-day tigers, but had massive curved canines that could grow up to 11 inches long. Another key difference is that they hunted in packs to bring down larger prey, such as mammoths and bison. Interestingly enough, their prey was also their demise. As mammoths and other megafauna started becoming extinct, so did salmon, since they had fewer large prey to hunt. Moving on to the largest primates that ever lived, we have Gigantopithecus, who were around 10 feet tall and could weigh as much as 1,200 pounds. That would make them 3 times heavier than a silverback. While the size and strength of Gigantopithecus is certainly impressive, perhaps the most terrifying part is that some scientists suggest that unlike modern apes, they walked on 2 legs much like humans, giving them a massive height advantage over any creature in the forest. Therizinosaurus is known to be some of the most bizarre-looking dinosaurs to ever lived, especially due to their 3 feet long claws that would put sloths and Instagram models to shame. Unlike other animals on the list, Therizinosaurus as a species was successful and long-lived. They survived for millions of years before ultimately going extinct, along with the rest of the dinosaurs. When you think of an animal on the top of the food chain, one tends to think about crocodiles, polar bears, great white sharks. But the first apex predator in the fossil record is the Anomalocaris, which translates from Greek to unusual shrimp. The Anomalocaris had razor-sharp teeth, and they could expand its body to suck in prey with incredible force. It's believed they went extinct 500 million years ago, which might be a good thing if you regularly like going to the beach. If you think the Komodo dragon is huge, you'd be happy to know that this 26 feet long lizard that weighs more than a Lamborghini went extinct around 50,000 years ago. The name of this species of giant lizards is the Megalania. It roamed the Australian outback, and even though there's no direct fossil evidence of its hunting behavior, it is believed that they fed on other predators, such as Tasmanian tigers and dingoes. Okay, the aurochs might have gone extinct in the 17th century, but their legacy lives on in the form of domesticated cows and bulls. They also serve as the ultimate ancestor of the modern-day cow, being able to grow up to 7 feet tall. That would be like seeing a bull the height of Shaq. But the aurochs weren't just big and beefy. They were fierce fighters that had massive horns that grew up to 9 feet in length, being able to easily defend their herd against a pack of wolves. It's even suggested that aurochs constantly putting down wolves with their horns contributed to the wolves' fear and avoidance of these massive bulls. Megalodons are some of the most known species of extinct giant sharks, but they were not the largest aquatic animals, with the Leviathan being bigger in size, according to many scientists. With a length of up to 60 feet and a weight of upwards of 60 tons, the Leviathan was a true monster of the sea, dwarfing even the largest modern-day predators like killer whales and great white sharks. Its massive jaws, lined with teeth up to 14 inches long, would have made quick work of any prey that dared to cross its path. And to make things worse, they would attack their prey with their forehead first, to immobilize them before eating them. The short-faced bear, also known as the ancient grizzly, was one of the most ferocious bears to ever walk Earth, being twice the size of a polar bear, and may have also played a role in shaping human history. It's believed that the presence of these massive bears kept early humans from crossing the Bering Strait. Back when all the continents were connected and you could walk from America to Asia, the presence of these giants stopped humans from crossing to Asia, making humans stay thousands of years longer than they would otherwise have. Unfortunately, despite its size and strength, the short-faced bear was unable to survive the changing conditions, as the Earth's climate shifted. When the Ice Age drew to a close, the short-faced bear and many other large mammals began to struggle. With changes in vegetation patterns and the loss of their traditional prey, these animals faced an uphill battle just to survive. With studies showing that people fear scorpions more than spiders, most people would be happy to hear that Pulmonoscorpius have been extinct for thousands of years. These were a genus of scorpion from Scotland that grew to be the size of a cat. Even though it's not known the level of toxicity of their venom, one can imagine the pain of being just stung by their 4 to 5 inch tail. A crocodile on steroids would be a good way to describe the Sarcosuchus. Measuring at 30 feet long and weighing 4 tons, it would take on terrestrial prey such as dinosaurs when they went for a sip of water. While it's difficult to say for certain how Sarcosuchus hunted, it's hard to imagine they employed a stealthy ambush strategy to surprise their prey like modern crocodiles, due to their size. And while the exact reasons for its extinction are unknown, the Sarcosuchus remains an important and fascinating part of our planet's history. The Daedon, also known as the Terminator pig, is an animal that you probably don't want to pet. Not that you would be enticed to, Weighing up to 1,000 pounds and a length of over 8 feet, this massive creature was one of the largest and most powerful of its kind. What truly set Daedon apart was its formidable set of jaws lines, with sharp teeth making them one of the most fearsome predators of its time. But perhaps they were too good at being predators, since the decline of prey population led to the eventual disappearance of this massive mammal. Perhaps one of the most strangely shaped creatures to ever roam the earth is the Platybelodon. They had unusual downward curving tusks and a shovel-like lower jaw. Despite the hideous appearance, they were a successful and long-lived species. Interestingly enough, even with their giant size, it is believed that some animals would prey on them, such saber-toothed cats and giant crocodiles such as the Sarcosuchus. Back in 2015 in Colombia, a team of miners found a huge shell that measured about 6 feet long. What they didn't know is that they discovered one of the largest and most well-preserved turtle shells ever found, and it belonged to a species of prehistoric turtles that roamed around 60 million years ago. Thanks to their massive shells, lined with bony plates, it made it virtually impossible for most predators to get inside. They were also powerful predators, eating not only plants but small animals as well thanks to their powerful bite. If you thought modern-day lobsters were big, you might want to think again. The Echolopterus was a prehistoric sea scorpion that lived over 390 million years ago, and it was one of the largest arthropods to ever exist. With a length of up to 8.2 feet, this enormous creature would have been a true terror of the ancient seas, using its massive claws and sharp pincers to hunt down prey and defend itself against predators. The Echolopterus eventually went extinct due to Earth's drastic changing. After all, these arthropods exist long before even dinosaurs existed. 4,000 years ago, while humans were forming some of the first empires, such as Mesopotamia, in a remote Arctic island located off the coast of Russia, the last mammoth walked the earth. Mammoths are some of the most iconic and well-known prehistoric animals for a reason. They survived in some of the coldest and most inhospitable regions in the world, and were some of the largest land mammals to ever exist, with a height of up to 14 feet and a weight of up to 7 tons. Sadly, these incredible animals were of utmost importance for humans, since they used woolly mammoths for almost everything imaginable, from food to using their large bones to build houses. Their fur was also used to make blankets and coats to keep the cold out, and their ivory was used to create some of the first weapons, such as arrows and tips of spears. They were so important to early humans that they would follow the herds wherever they went, because they knew just a single mammoth could provide a large group of people enough valuables to live for a while. The good news is that scientists assured that they could bring back mammoths. There's even a company named Colossal who has the goal to see mammoths thunder upon the tundra once again.
CRISPR and others have made it possible to read, edit, and even write genomes. Mammoth DNA, recovered from frozen specimens, allows for the de-extinction of the woolly mammoth genome.
And the mammoth is just the beginning. In January of this year, the U.S. Innovative Technology Fund injected $150 million on Colossal, and a big part of the budget will be used in efforts of de-extincting the dodo. The dodo bird was a flightless bird that weighed 50 pounds. To put it in perspective, the average penguin weighs less than 1 pound. It is believed that the dodo's size was the result of island gigantism, which is a phenomenon that occurs when animals live on isolated islands, making them grow larger in size due to lack of competition and absence of predators. But this absence of predators ultimately led to the demise of the dodo when humans settled on the island of Mauritius and brought animals, including predators, with them. And well, considering dodos lost their ability to fly and became way too big to run, plus they were not scared of anything, since they had no predators in the island, it didn't take long for predators to wipe the entire species very quickly.